All right, we're now joined by Danica Patrick, driver of the number 7 GoDaddy.com Chevrolet in the NASCAR Nationwide Series and the number 10 GoDaddy.com Chevrolet in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series this weekend at Bristol. You said 11th in the NASCAR Nationwide Series points. Talk a little bit about coming back here to Bristol and then also looking ahead to Saturday as well.
Well, I watched a truck race the other night, and it looked like a really good race. Lots of close side-by-side action. So hopefully the fans like what they're seeing. It's you're definitely going to be, trying to get to the bottom for sure. We'll see how that goes. I feel like the setup of the car will be very similar. I don't remember running up high in practice and setting the car up there, so maybe that was my problem. I've liked Bristol since the first time I came here. I think it's a fun racetrack with all the banking, and I've enjoyed it since the beginning. So hopefully it's a good weekend. Obviously, we're very busy today with the Cup and Nationwide, so it'll be nice to sleep until 3 o'clock or whatever. I can't sleep until tomorrow.
All right, well, go ahead with questions. Please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation. All right, we'll start with Jeff.
Jeff Glove from SBNation.com. Obviously, tomorrow night is going to be tough given that you've never raced a Cup race here. Like last week, Tony was trying to set the expectations low and get people off your back and things like that. What are your personal expectations for tomorrow? I mean, I know you've come into races like this, like Darlington, just saying you wanted to finish all the laps and things like that. Is it a similar type goal for tomorrow?
Yeah. We got 500 laps here tomorrow night, and it's twice the distance of our race tonight in the Nationwide Series. So finishing all the laps is the most important thing for me, to be able to get that seat time, to be able to feel how the track changes, feel how work on the car throughout the race, just get used to the distance. And I've always said that I feel like there's always a rhythm to a race, and you have to kind of get a feel for that by doing the whole thing. So, Tony picked what he thought were the toughest races of the year for me to run. So with that in mind, finishing the laps will be the goal for tomorrow night.
All right, we'll go to Bob.
Bob Pocker, Sporting News. As far as what happened last week in Montreal and running over a shoe, had you ever run over anything?
He throws a shoe. I mean, really.
Did you notice what kind of shoe it was? I mean, what?
I think it was dark with a white, like a light-colored sole. It looked really funny on the video. It looked like it disappeared. Oh, that sucked.
I mean, but have a lot of people asked you about it, talked to you about it,
yeah.
and have you? What's maybe the best joke or something you heard about it?
Well, I think the Austin Powers "Who throws a shoe?" I mean, really, is probably the most appropriate thing. But I think a lot of people did ask me about it or talk about it, or most of them just said, "Who throws a shoe?" Seriously, that's mostly what I got. So it was disappointing. We were looking forward to, having a shot to win, and that happened in the lead, and whether it was what caused the problem or not, I don't know. It definitely was what ended up, leading towards the end of our day. So we were just looking to have a good result. I can't tell you how many people said after Watkins Glen, what bad luck I had, and then I hit a shoe. So I don't really think it can get I don't feel like it can get a lot worse. I don't know if anyone's ever hit a shoe before, but it just seems like a very weird situation. So I'm ready for it to turn. I'm ready for some good luck. I'm ready for some good results. And the team has been working extremely hard. It doesn't change whether we finish first or last. And but it's nice to get rewarded with a good finish sometimes. And I think we're all looking forward to that.
All right, we'll go to Joe and then Marty.
Joe Madzer, NASCAR.com. Danica, do you ever wish that maybe Tony hadn't picked the toughest tracks for you in Cup, or do you feel like this has been pretty beneficial and will pay dividends?
Well, I don't think that being able to know whether or not it's beneficial at this point is really possible. The part that we'll know if it's beneficial is come next year, when either I feel much more comfortable coming back to those tracks, or I have better results, or something like that. So at this point in time, it's about gaining the experience. But there's a saying that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I'm sure that they will help. It will help in the long run. But until we get to next year and actually know how I feel, we'll decide whether or not these races helped or not. I think as long as I can keep my head up and stay confident and stay looking forward and stay upbeat, then I think that they will serve that purpose. But there's always that chance that these are humbling moments, and especially with being at the tough tracks that they're at and the tough races that they are. So just got to focus on staying positive.
Okay, Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Danica, good morning. When you're leading that late in a race, what were your emotions in that moment when you are the leader with just a handful of laps to go? Is it are you super excited? Is it just like normal? Take me through that.
Whenever I'm leading or running really well or feel like I have a really good chance to win, I always feel really calm. I always feel like I am where I'm supposed to be, and I feel a sense of focus. And but most of all, I feel calm. So that's how I felt, and that's what I was saying to my husband afterwards. And people around me, I was like, I just felt really calm up there. It's a really peaceful view when you're out front and nobody's in front of you. It is nice. Although there are mirrors, but still, it's very peaceful when you see nothing out front. So I felt good. It was just a bummer. It was just a bummer of a weekend. So that's all right. We made a good showing, and we ran well all weekend, and we led a lot of laps. So had lots of good restarts. So we'll just take that and move on.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Danica, throughout your racing career, I mean, if you're a driver long enough, you get into these slumps, and just a series of things keeps happening and building on the next bad thing. When it's turned around for you in the past, has it been a singular event where all of a sudden, boom, you had a big-time finish and it all turned around, or was it more gradual, and then all of a sudden, 3 or 4 races down the road, you went like, okay, now things have turned for the better?
I can't remember having this much bad luck in forever. I don't ever remember feeling like just can't seem to catch a break for so long and in such big ways sometimes. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Sorry for such a short answer, but I don't know.
All right, go ahead. And then we'll go to Woody and then Bob.
Hey, Danica, Jeff Hood of RacingToday.com. Just wanted to get your thoughts about next weekend. It'll be your first nationwide and Cup start at Atlanta. What are your thoughts and expectations?
I've heard lots of great things about Atlanta. It's good racing. The tires definitely go off with the surface, and the line moves around a lot. So I've heard a lot of really good things about it. For me, it's going to be a big weekend, not only from the standpoint that there's Cup and Nationwide, but it's a big Coca-Cola weekend. So I'll be really busy, but I think nothing's better than going to a new track and having lots of track time.
All right, go ahead, Woody.
Woody Kane with MRN. Danica, just wanted to ask you about the particular challenges you see here versus the intermediate tracks or a road course in terms of the racing this weekend.
It's
the short track style in general.
I mean, short track style, I guess, is this is a slightly unique because of how much banking there is, which I feel like is part of the reason why I have liked coming here and why I feel more comfortable here. I've always said that the fast, big bank tracks are what I feel like I do the best at, and this is a fast, short bank track, as if that can be. So, I mean, I think that, particular to this weekend, you're going to be fighting for the bottom without the third lane or the top lane. I think that, it's going to be a little harder to pass, probably. It's not just going to be momentum. You're going to have to set it up, and you're going to have to, really make it happen. And, that can be a positive and a negative. If you're running well, it's frustrating. If you're not running well, it does hold up the leaders from coming around. It takes them a little longer. So I think for me in general, it's just about getting to the limit of the car as quickly as possible in practice so that we can have effective testing time and really make good progress with the car. I've always said that if I haven't been there, if I'm not comfortable, sometimes the way we start with the car is the way we end with the car, but we do a whole big circle with the setup and end up where we started. So hopefully it'll be good. This is my third time here now, so but short tracks are just it's just a different kind of racing. I feel like a lot of the drivers in NASCAR came from short track racing, local short track racing, and I didn't. So I came from road courses and high speed. So I guess that's probably why I feel more comfortable in those environments.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
As far as your Cup program and getting ready for next year, which is kind of what you're doing this weekend, does it matter that whether you have your crew chief for next year at all this year, and also I guess you have Tab Boyd as your spotter for both races this weekend? Is that just, are you still in that process of trying to find spotter for next year?
Yeah, all of those things, well, not all of those things. The first thing was the crew chief. I think that the more time you can spend working with your crew chief, the better off you are. But, I know Stuart Haas is thinking about it. They're working on it. And, I know that there's a lot of moving parts with the company right now, and they're trying to see what's going to happen with all the cars. And so we'll just wait for that. I trust them. They've done a great job for me. So I trust that they're going to make a good decision there. And get it done when it needs to get done. As far as a spotter, yeah, I need a spotter. So, that's kind of, TJ's done a great job for me, and I really like having him, but I really can't have him. So it's smart to get on with the program and try and see who might be able to fill in that spot for the long haul.
All right. Time for one more question.
Excellent.
All
I have
right.
a busy day.
You're good.
Thank you, guys.